I want to talk for a few moments today. We're starting a brand new series on connections. Connections. Could I make an argument that the best and the worst parts of your life come through people? Okay, I'm not even an argument. We're all in it. We all agree. Best parts of our life, people. Worst parts of our life, people. Best parts of our lives, ourselves. Worst parts of our lives, ourselves. It comes down, thank you, bro. It comes down to our connections. Do you have healthy connections? Do you have a healthy connection, healthy relationship with friendships, parents, siblings, children, your spouse, coworkers? What are the connections that you have? And if your connections got better, how much better would your life get? If your connections got worse, how much worse would your life get? So much of our life hinges on our connections. Mark 12, verse 30, one of the most important verses of the Bible, one of the biggest hinges of the Bible, they're gonna throw it up, says this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. And the second is equally important: to love your neighbor as yourself. To love God and love people as you love yourself. There's two things in this verse that I want to highlight today for us that I think we miss, and because we're missing it, it's impacting all of our connections. The first thing that I think we miss is I don't think we truly have a great understanding of what love is. I want to talk about that for a few moments. And then it says love God and love people as you love yourself. So if you don't know what love is, then you can't pull this verse off. If you don't know how to love well, you can't pull this verse off. And if this verse is the two most important commandments in all of the Bible and you can't do it, we got a problem. You're like, but I'm good at everything else. No, but if you can't do this, if you can't love well, and if you can't love God and people and yourself, then we're gonna miss the whole point. So we gotta love well. And then many of us think that we love God well. At least we think it. We don't think we do it bad. We're not gossiping about him. We're not cutting him in the back. We're not lying to him. You know, like in theory, we think we love God well. But then there's the love people. Like how many people? Who's my people? Those people? I don't know about those people. Those people? I don't know about these. What about these people? And then there's one more caveat: as you love yourself. Oh, hold up. So you mean I have to have a healthy, loving relationship with myself before I could ever step in to loving outward well? Yes. Apparently that's what I didn't say it, the Bible said it. Don't get mad at me. Bible says you gotta love yourself well to love others well. So if you don't know how to love yourself, then if you don't know what love is, that's an issue. If you don't know how to love yourself well, there's a second issue. And if those two things are unanswered, you're hopeless. Could I even say you don't even have the capacity to love others until you know what love is and know how to apply it to yourself? Because how you love yourself is how he's asking you to love others. Honestly, I think how you love yourself is how you love others. I don't think that's a struggle. I think you treat others like you treat yourself. You judge yourself, you judge them. You speak down to yourself, you speak down to them. You lie to yourself, you lie to them. You cut corners on yourself, you cut corners on them. See, how you think love works or how you think love is defined is often how you apply it to yourself, so it's how you try to apply it to others. If you think love is feels and emotions and comforts, and then you'll do it to yourself and you'll do it to others. So what is love? See, in the Greek, when the Bible was written, which you'd have learned yesterday in Foundations if you were there, Terry's teaching his whole class in Greek. So if you don't know Greek, don't come to take his class. Kidding. That'd be incredible though. In the Greek, they had 4 words that we use all 4 to translate to our word love. So we have one word love. They had 4 different words that describe different expressions that we decided all of that sounds like love. Here's why I have a problem with that. Because I have said these 2 statements, but there's just no way that these can be true. I love that burger. I love my wife. How am I using the same description for a burger and my companion, my other half? Jesus says the 2 become one. She completed me. She fulfilled me. She brings me to more holiness than any other person or thing on the planet. Jesus is using her to bring me closer to him. And I use the same word to describe my feelings for her and a taco. Oh, I love tacos. Love a good burger. Oh, I love my wife. Wait, how shallow is our love if I can use it to describe my feelings for Chick-fil-A and the love of my life? See, so I think our language has sold us short, and I think we've believed that love is so inclusive, love is love, and love is broad, and all things. No, there's so much nuance to love, and in this verse, there's, out of the 4 Greek words, one of them specifically is used in this verse. Here's the 4 words. None of these are wrong, by the way. So don't feel like 1 is godly and 3 are sinful. They're just descriptive words. They're just trying to get you to understand what they're meaning. If you've been in church for a while, you might know this word, agape. It's a benevolent goodwill love. It seeks the highest good for others, no matter the cost. It seeks the highest good for others, no matter the cost. It's self-giving, freely, without asking anything in return. It's a love by choice, not by feeling. Check this out. Agape requires no chemistry. It's a love by will. I choose. I will. I've decided. This is the best for you. This is. I know that you don't want this, but because I love you, I want this for you. Let me give you context. It's you love your children, and so you don't allow them to live on Oreos alone. But I want it, and if you loved me, you'd give me what I want. No, I love you, so I want you to be healthy, and the best thing for you is for you to be healthy. Have you ever had maybe a parent or family member that was unhealthy, and the doctor said, if you don't change your diet, you're gonna die? Because I love you, you can't eat hamburgers. Well, that's not very loving of you. No, I want the best for you. And it has nothing to do with how I feel about you, how I feel towards you. It has nothing to do with our chemistry in this moment. It has nothing to do with our emotions in this moment. I want the best for you, and the best for you is life. The best for you is health. And so I'm choosing to withhold something that you want because I love you. Y'all catching this? That's agape love. Let me tell you, there's 3 more loves. There's phileo love, which is a fondness. There's a care, there's a cherish there. It's a love by emotion and feel. That's good too. I want to feel some love up in here. I don't want to be a robot in my love, right? I don't want to be a robotic. God created my emotions and my feelings. I want to use them for him, but I want to use them in my relationship. I want to use them in my marriage. There's another love, eros, which we get the word erotic from. It involves passion or lusts. It involves romance. It expects a return. When I give, I expect a fair rate on my giving. Why are you giggling out there? This love, eros love, says, I will love you at this measure if you can love me back at that equal measure. And when I love, if you don't love at the equal measure, I'll stop loving. But it also has to do with romance and passion. Come on, somebody, I want a little eros love in my marriage up in here. I don't want all the robotics. Why are you getting so quiet up in here? You acting like you're not the same? Stop it. Get out of here. And lastly, there's one more love, and the love is storge. And they used it in the Greek language to define more of a family love, a parent to a child love. 4 loves, 4 different expressions, 4 different meanings, 4 different definitions to understand what's trying to be communicated. We get it. I have a different love for my children than I have for you, and you'll never have that love from me to you that I have for my children. We get that, right? That's given. I love that the Greek language had words to describe truths. And I think sometimes we've lost the ability to describe or communicate truths that we know exist. We just don't know how to put words to it. When I say I love my children and I say I love you, it means something different. I love that they said, yeah, I could storge my children, I could agape you. It's still a real love for both, but it's a difference. Right? Okay, throw Mark 13 back up or Mark 12:30 back up for me. Let's read it with a little more clarity now. Agape, the Lord your God. This is what it says in the Greek. Agape the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. The second is equally important. Agape your neighbor as you agape yourself. Love God and love people and love yourself with a will to love. With I choose the best for you over me. With my love has nothing to do with what I receive back. It's all how I give. It's not an eros love. It's not a phileo love. It's not a storge love. It's not I love you like my children, or I love you with passions like my wife, or I love you with romance, or I love you with an exchange. It's I love you for the best for you. When we understand that type of love, then we can unlock the power of this verse, which is one of the most important verses for us to get. Because this is the 2 greatest commandments from Jesus. Love God and people as you love yourself. But I want to zero in for the remainder. Oh my God, Anthony, stop the clock. You're going to have to come back to the next service. It says, agape people as you agape yourself. Value yourself with a will, not an emotion. Value yourself with I choose the best for me regardless of how I feel about it. Many of us are struggling in our connections with people because we struggle with our connection with ourselves. We don't have a healthy relationship with us because we don't know how to love ourselves. And we keep loving ourselves with a shallowness or an emotion or a feeling or I think this is what love is. And so because this is how I was taught love is, I treat myself this way and I treat others this way. But we need to break the mold and we need to break free of past mistruths and accept God's new truth that says, this is truly what I'm trying to communicate to you. That treat yourself with an agape love that says, I want the best for me. What does that mean? It means I don't eat this. It means I discipline myself. It means I read my Bible. It means I pray. It means I'm sacrificial. The best for me is I leave in retirement. I leave an inheritance. I work hard. The best for me isn't always how I feel in the moment. And if we can't treat ourselves that way, we'll struggle treating others that way. Y'all don't want to hear this today. Y'all don't want this today. Y'all like, this is so harsh. I gotta love myself better. We gotta love ourselves. Quickly, how do I love myself? Well, I gotta figure out who I am. Some of us don't love ourselves good because we don't know who we are. I threw this little graphic together, which don't take a photo of when it comes up because I put the graphic in your brand new app. Come on, somebody, app drop up in here. It's in your phone, but here, throw the graphic up for me. That's who you are. This graphic is in your app. Don't take a photo of it. There's a better one in your app. Download it in the app. And maybe save this as a screensaver for the week. Who are you? I'm a child of God. I'm forgiven. I'm free. I'm healed. I'm the temple of God. I'm righteous. I'm an heir with Jesus. I'm blessed. I am blessed. I'm a masterpiece. I'm bold. I'm an ambassador. I'm sanctified. See, when you start realizing your identity, then you'll start loving who you are better. And that's a big deal, because when you love yourself better, you get to love others better. You get to love God better. The whole law and the prophets hinges on you understanding yourself and your identity and loving it well. Come on, somebody. Okay, you guys can take that down. I gotta know who I am. I'm a child of God. Some of us struggle loving ourselves because we struggle with who we are. I'm broken. I'm devalued. I'm misused. I'm overlooked. I'm not that person. I wish I had their hair and their body and their job and their education. I wish I was as smart as them. I wish. Man, I wish you knew you were a child of God. I wish you knew you were a masterpiece. I wish you knew you were the temple of the Holy Spirit. I wish you knew you were redeemed and forgiven. I wish you knew who you were. Because when you realize who you are, you'll stop loving yourself with that cheap love. You'll stop giving yourself them feels and emotions, and you'll lean into the love that God has asked for you to apply to yourself. Peter walks up. Did you hear? Band could come onto the stage. I'll play me out of here. Jesus says, Peter, who am I? He says, you're Jesus, the Christ, the Son of God. He goes, and you are Peter, and on this rock I'll build my church. You're no longer Simon, but you're Peter. In the Old Testament, God shows up to Abram, and he says, Abram, you're no longer Abram, but Abraham. Abraham means the father of a nation, but Abram didn't even have a child. Catch this, when you get a grasp of who Jesus is, Jesus starts to reveal who you are. Your identity is unlocked when you see Jesus. And your identity can be unlocked when you see Jesus, regardless of the situation around you. He can call you a father even if you don't have a child. He can call you a rock even if you're unstable. Peter was up and down and left and right, and he was kind of crazy sometimes. And that's the disciple goes, no, you're a rock. Are you sure, Peter? He cut it up and down. He's the one who's going to deny you and run and hide and cry. No, you're a rock. Abraham, you're a father. I don't even have a child. You're a father. And Jesus is looking at you today and saying, if you would understand who Jesus is, he would start to show you who you are. You're called. You're anointed. I have a plan. I have a purpose for your life. You're a mother. You're a father. You're a patriarch. You're a leader. You're the head and not the tail. You're forgiven. He'll start to, even if you don't feel it, he'll still tell you this is who you are. Years and years ago, out of baseball that was signed, I was a child, I was 13 or something, 11, 12, 13. And I got home and it was shiny and clean. And there was no more scribbles on it, right? I found my sister. And I said, what did you do to this baseball? She goes, it was so dirty, I cleaned it for you. Yeah, so she's a doll. Yeah, thanks. What a gem. She didn't know what it was, so she didn't know how to value it correctly. It wasn't her fault. She didn't know what it was, but because she didn't know what it was, she didn't know how to value it. Many of you don't know who and what you are, so you're having a problem assessing the correct value of yourself. Here, show me this car, Anthony. I think I got time to sneak this in. Someone found this car in a garage. They paid something like $1,800 for it. It wasn't running. $1,800 for it. They restored it and sold it for $900,000. Because the owner didn't know the identity of it, but the buyer did. See, if you don't know what something is, you'll have a hard time valuing it. Y'all can take it down. It was like one of 8 Dodges that was made that year. $2,000, $900,000. What was the difference? Perspective. Identity. Someone saw the true identity and saw the value. When you start to see your true identity, you'll start to see your true value. Recently, in the last year or two, we sold our home and moved homes. And what set the value of my home? What someone was willing to pay. You didn't set the value of my home. The highest bidder set the value of my home. I'm talking about? If you're like, I don't think that's worth, I don't know. Like, well, it doesn't matter to me what you think, because what matters is who will pay the most. Come on, somebody. It's the highest value sets the price. Do you know that Jesus already set the value on your life? You know that, right? You know your value's already been set, and it wasn't set by your first marriage and the divorce, and it wasn't set by that abusive parent, and it wasn't set by that coach that shouted at you. It wasn't set by the season of life you went through as a prodigal. It wasn't set by that abortion or that miscarriage. It wasn't set by that drug season or that, it wasn't set by your past. It was set by Jesus being willing to come into a human form and die on a cross for you. Your price has been set. And it doesn't matter if that one person wanted to undersell and that one person wanted to short sell and the one person was saying, no, you're only worth this. No. The highest price has been set. And so if they didn't want to pay the highest price, that's their loss. But your price has already been set. So stop selling yourself short with bad relationships and bad people and past pains and unforgiveness and the struggle that you went through. No. Your price has been set. And so once you understand your identity in Christ, once you understand how much He loves you, once you understand who you are, you can start valuing yourself and loving yourself. And when Jesus set your value, he showed off the greatest expression of love humanity has ever seen. I will agape you, not because of how I feel or because of how worthy you currently are. I will love you not because of what I'm gonna get in return. I will love you not because of the trade I'm about to get. I will love you not because of how much you deserve it or earn it. I will love you because I chose the best for you. The best expression of agape the world has ever seen. You wanna know what love is? It's hanging on a cross. It's not feelings at a club. It's not feelings through chemistry. It's not feelings through emotions. It's not I'll love you if you love me. It's not love is love. It's not everything's accepted. No, it's Jesus on a cross. He both showed off the love and He showed off your value. And when you get a grip of that, you will begin to love God and love people in a brand new way. Come on, with every head bowed and every eye closed. We gotta close.